Hello friends, Coach Bob with you. Welcome to Worship on Wheels. I don't even know what episode we're on right now. We drove today a little over 600 miles and in the car coming back from California. This was a wonderful trip with our grandchild. Ruh-roh. We got some police cars going on here. It was a wonderful trip, and I was asked a lot of questions on this trip. It was actually quite sweet, and I will say this as well. It's always flattering when someone that you respect asks your opinion on how to resolve an issue, how to solve a problem. Wisdom is gained through that deep relationship with Christ, and I believe that through the years of me being a child of the King and paying real close attention, that I've grown in wisdom. I don't know everything. I don't claim to. But I know some things. I was listening to an album, and I listen to music a lot. It was released in 1998, and the album title is called Kansas. The artist is a young lady named Jennifer Knapp, K-N-A-P-P. And there's a song on there called Refine Me. Now, I'm going to remember the lyrics to the best of my recollection, but basically it starts out like this. I come into this place, coming to receive your peace. I come with my own chains, from wars I fought for my own selfish gain. It may seem odd that I would be talking about wars and peace and how it was about me and about you. Because when I say me, when you say it, you need to say me. We've been through a lot in the last few weeks when it comes to politics in this country. And I will even go further than that. For months, it has been politics around the globe. Whether it's due to illness, whether it's due to the presidency, whether it's due to prime ministers, everyone seems to have a position on it, and that's okay. But when I was visiting my son, he is in the military. He is a submariner in the United States Navy, and he's a brilliant young man. And him and some of his brilliant friends, as we were talking about the country and what we could do, they weren't disappointed in people. They weren't disappointed in the country. They weren't disappointed in the things. They wanted to know what they could do. Coach, they'd look at me and go, what can we do? Now, understand, these are guys that are getting up every morning and serving their country daily. These are young men that are underway and under the sea for months at a time. And they're wanting to know what they can do to make this country better. And I thought about it. I wanted to tell them, hey, if you say this or if you do that, you're going to make the country better. Because we look at that and we go, that's how we change things. That's how we make the world a better place. But I'm going to share a secret with you. That's not how it works. Because guess what? We are showing up with our own chains from wars we fought for our own selfish gain. Because we want to win. We want to win. It's pride. So I'm going to share a verse with you. In the book of 1 Peter, chapter 2, verse 1, it says this: Therefore, rid yourselves of all malice, of all deceit, envy, and slander of every kind. You want to make things better? That's how you do it. That seems simple, doesn't it? But we have to rid ourselves of all of that junk. We got to get rid of it. We have to let all that go. I'm going to tell you, I pulled over to pull up another verse for you too. 2 Chronicles chapter 7 verse 14. And for most of you, you will be very familiar with this. I'm going to read it to you, then we're going to talk about it while we ride. It says, if my people who are called by my name humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and heal their land. You know, I read that if Coach Bob, who is called by my name, will humble himself and pray and seek my face and turn from Coach Bob's wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and I will heal his land. You know, being humble and letting all of this stuff, getting rid of all of this stuff, it's hard. And as I told these young men, you know, it's about you. It's about your character. I'm going to tell you, if you are allowing people that you've never met in your life to ruin your day, you are doing it wrong. You're doing it way wrong. You're not even resembling correct. You know, I've never met any of the politicians that I vote for. I haven't met any of those guys. And you know what? I don't care to, from either side of the aisle. So if I'm sounding conservative, well, I'm conservative in my values. And if I sound liberal, that's because I believe in liberty and the liberation of sin, where I have been set free. And no government, whether it be a red government or a blue government, because my freedom, my liberty does not come from them. It just doesn't. And if I'm going to allow them, any of them, turn around here. So the question is, if you and me and everyone else within the sound of this video would purge themselves of all malice, all hatred, all evil, how many lives could you change? Not complaining on the internet, not being a keyboard warrior, not complaining about your neighbor or your president or whatever. How many lives could you change? Think you could change one? You guys know how I feel about the number of subscribers that we have got on this channel. I never anticipated having almost 3,000 subscribers, and it's growing. It's growing. This video will get between 300 and 500 views. The Worship on Wheels don't get a lot of views, but that's okay. If 300 people will watch this, and they will pray for the healing of this land, and that we, us 300, would turn from our wicked ways. In other words, we would quit talking bad and quit being ugly about things, and we would just turn from our ways. Then you're going to come into contact with 5, and they come into contact with 5, and they come into contact with 5. All of a sudden, that 300 times 5 is 1,500, times 5 is 7,500, times 5 is a bigger number than I can figure in my head while riding a Can-Am Spider. So I want you to think about the exponential growth of small groups. So my prayer is that you will pray for this nation, pray for the nations of your neighbors, pray for your family, pray for your leaders. Yes, even the ones you don't like. In fact, especially the ones you don't like. Well, that doesn't sound like what we're told every day, does it? Well, you want to heal this land? It starts with you. It starts with me. That's how it's done. I wish there was an answer that I would say there's a magic pill that you could throw in the water and everyone would just be happy and peaceful. But we were told a long time ago that's not how this world works. But it can work that way for you. And it can work that way for me if I can throw all that stuff out the window, pray to my God, humble myself, and turn from my wicked ways, and all of the chains that I bring with me to the altar, I give them up. I give them to Him. For all the things that I fought for my selfish gain, to be a winner, to be prideful, to be arrogant, to be boastful. I give it all up. And I pray that our land is healed and that your heart is full of joy this morning. Now, know this, that you, my friend, are loved. Now, go change the world. We'll talk to you soon.